Hey, today we're back with another Seadoo Spark Trixx video. This time we're gonna do the maintenance on it, or the service, which means oil change, spark plug change, oil filter change, checking it over completely. Now the one thing I noticed with this one, it is losing power when it does get warm, so that's not great. I'm hoping that with new spark plugs that it will fix that issue. And yeah, so we're gonna do that today. For those of you who saw my last video, which was last weekend for the GPS install, now I had the whole top body off, and you're probably wondering why I didn't do the whole oil change and maintenance at that point, and I completely had it planned in. I just was so focused on finishing that video up, that I completely forgot to actually do the whole maintenance on it. Which means I now have to take the whole top body off again, the second weekend in a row. Now don't do it like I do it. Don't take off your top cover off. Don't take the top cover off every weekend. The little plastic pieces that are holding the screws in place are gonna wear out over time. So taking them off every weekend probably isn't the greatest idea. But this one really badly needs the whole maintenance on it. So I do have to take it off again. And we'll get started on that right away and see if that's also gonna fix our power issue with it. Now to get the oil out of the machine, I suggest running it beforehand. I already took the oil out yesterday. Now it's nice and easy to do it with the right tools while the top cover is still on. So we had it out in the water yesterday, we got it nice and warm, and then what you use is an oil vacuum pump. Just like this one, it comes with a little bit of hose. Now this one hose goes into the vacuum pump, just like that. And then you have another piece of the hose that goes right in where your dipstick is, or the oil cap, and where you also fill up your oil later. Once the oil is nice and warm, you just place this onto the bottom right there, hook it onto your vacuum pump, and as soon as you start pumping, the oil should start flowing nicely into the pump. Mine took around about a minute to 2 minutes. And make sure that on the oil pump, right here, as you guys can see, there's 3 lines. Now this is a 6-liter oil pump. That means that's 2 liters, 4 liters, and 6 liters. And since the Seadoo has about 2 liters of oil, I can see it right here that it did take out everything. Once you have your oil removed, you want to move over to the other side, where I'll show you guys the oil filter. You always want to replace that when you replace your oil as well. Now right here is where the oil filter is, and to remove that, you just loosen up these 3 screws right here. Now I should probably, before I continue this much further, get some kind of towel to wipe off the excess oil. Yeah, we're gonna grab that quickly. Now, before I continue with taking the oil filter out, I am gonna grab my new oil filter from the oil change kit. As you guys can see, it is XPS lubrications, and it is for this motor specifically, where you get your oil filter from Rotax, your seal, and you get 2 liters, I believe. It's almost a liter, I guess it's 2 quarts of oil for your engine right there. Now as you guys can see, it is 5W40, which is the oil you want to run on this engine according to Seadoo, since I got this kit directly from them. This oil we're going to pour into there later, but first let's get the oil filter out, and before I completely take it out, I need somewhere to put it. And we're back. Now, obviously, as you guys can see, I wasn't all too prepared. So with the container now ready, we're gonna remove the top cover of the oil filter. Now don't drop these screws into the engine bay, because that would be a pain to get them out. Ooh boy, no. There we go. As you guys can see, it is pretty full and it does leak right away. So we're just quickly gonna wipe this down. The oil is pretty brown already, pretty dark. And we are gonna remove the oil filter. A little tight in there, but you can just wriggle it out right there. Here you go. Now what I am gonna do is I'm gonna take my vacuum pump and vacuum up the extra oil that was left in here. Oh boy. Okay, you don't want that happening. That was a slight mistake. So when you do suck it out, make sure that the hose on your vacuum pump doesn't accidentally come off, because that's gonna make a huge mess like it did right here. Now the bad thing is I don't have the proper flooring yet, so everything that falls onto the floor gets basically instantly absorbed. It's a little bit annoying, but installing a proper floor costs money. We are still on a budget here, so we're gonna have to make do with what we have. There we go. Now being a little more careful this time. So with the excess oil removed, we can now move on to installing the new filter. What you want to do is you want to oil up the little rubber piece right there. So I'm going to use a little bit of the dirty oil, just because it's easier than opening up the new oil. But get a little bit of the oil onto the rubber grommet there, and then with the rubber piece facing downwards, make sure you align it onto the little stopper there and just push down. There we go. Now for the O-ring, this is gonna go right here. This last one seems to be flattened pretty badly and it's sticking. So we're gonna clean this up nicely once as well. Now if you do have gloves, you might want to wear them, because your hands are gonna get dirty in this process. They don't stay perfectly clean. Oh boy, yeah, don't do that. That almost fell into the engine bay, but you put it on, and again, same thing. You take some of the oil and oil it up a little bit so that it doesn't completely dry, and then we are gonna put this right back on it. There we go. Take the 3 screws There's one. Now be careful, don't drop these into the engine bay down there, because that would be a pain to try to get out. And number 3. Now I am just slowly gonna tighten each one, not do one completely. I want to make sure that it is sitting nice and even. Right now, they're all nice and tight. Clean it up. And with that, the oil filter is now changed. It's that easy. There you go, the old oil filter. Next up, we're gonna put the oil into the motor. So right by your dipstick, this is also where you put the oil in. So we're gonna put a little funnel in there just to make sure that nothing gets spilled. And we're gonna put the 2 quarts or 2 liters, almost 2 liters, into the engine. Now, there we go. So next up is the spark plugs. They have 3 spark plugs right here. And for this one, this little clip does get in the way. So we are just quickly gonna unplug this. There we go, put that to the side, and then we're gonna start. Now to remove the actual plugs, you need a plug socket. Oh, there you go. Okay, you just need to push it down a little more. That's not so good. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to work. Okay, question to you guys. Is my spark plug supposed to be rusty? I am gonna assume that it's not supposed to be rusted. Oh boy. Okay, that's spark plug number 1, or number 3, I guess. Oh no, that's not good. Okay, we're gonna quickly. Oh boy. Okay, now this one is really concerning me right now. That ain't normal. Okay, we are gonna slide no. Great. That's not good. That's not supposed to happen. Well, I guess that broken spark plug is gonna grind us to a halt for today. I am gonna see if I can get the rest of it out with an extractor tool. Not great news, but as you guys can see on these spark plugs, they're pretty rusted as well, which also isn't a great sign. According to my friend, one of the gaskets is probably blown. So we're gonna pack everything up for now. I'm gonna wait for my extractor tool, and then I guess we'll try to get the rest of the middle or the second spark plug out. It's still way in there. As you guys can see, missing the whole top part here. So that's not so much fun to deal with, but it's part of the process. So apparently my audio didn't record for this part, so we're gonna do a voiceover, which is also quite fun. So what I did to start, I got the vacuum cleaner, I got a little bit of a thinner hose, and I vacuumed out the top piece of the little spark plug. After that, I ordered a set of bolt extractors, which took like 2 weeks to arrive. Well, it wasn't quite that long, but it took a really long time. I finally canceled the order in the end and just went to look for it. I had to go to two different cities till I finally got it here in Paraguay. But the thing in my hand right there is a bolt extractor. And with that, we are gonna try to get that spark plug out. I got the tip of the spark plug out, so it is a clean passway through. And after that, we're gonna use a little bit of a magnet and get the last little shavings out of the cylinder. So to get started, we are gently gonna place the bolt extractor into the cylinder. Make sure that it can start gripping it a little bit. We're gonna use the extension of his socket, like the little one. Not sure, I think it's a 1/4 inch, but don't quote me on that. That fits perfectly on top of the extractor. We're gonna gently tap it into place so it starts biting into the actual plug. And then with every heart stopping moment, we're gonna gently start turning it. Now, this whole part was absolutely terrifying. With every turn I made, I had no idea whether I was just stripping the whole threads out or if I was actually unscrewing the plug. But with a little bit of fast forwarding, this seems a lot less heart stopping than it was while I was doing it. And right here, as you guys can see, I managed to get the plug out. And it seems to be intact. Now obviously there is a little bit of damage on the threads, but right there you can see that the last little piece of the plug is out of the head, and it seems like we should be good to go to just screw in the new plug. Now before we do that, we are gonna make ourselves a little homemade magnet and get rid of all the little shavings that did fall into there. Luckily, there wasn't all too many. I got a look at some of them that fell into the cylinder, and with our homemade magnet we were able to pick all of them out and make sure that our cylinder was nice and clean. Now with that done, we are gonna be placing in our new plugs, getting everything put back together, and then we're gonna test it out, see if everything's gonna work. while we have it open, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the fuel pump and check the fuel filter. And as you're gonna see in a little bit, the fuel tank is really dirty. There's even some seeds and leaves in there. I have no idea how that got in there, but I don't think that's very healthy. So I did order a new set of the fuel filters from Amazon since we couldn't get them here in Paraguay. But with that being said, let's get this whole thing taken apart, get it cleaned out, and put everything back together. Now with the old fuel filter taken off, oh boy, it's still spilling. Now with the old fuel filter taken off, new one in its place, it has these two little tabs right here on the sides. Not sure if you guys can see it. Wow, doing this upside down is really hard. But it has two little tabs on either side, right there and there, which are, if you look at it this way, right on this side and on this side. Now with the new fuel filter in place, we're gonna get the tank cleaned out as well, just to be safe that there's no debris in there. We'll install the fuel pump back into its place and then we're good to go. Okay, I have no idea how this happened, but these are either seedlings. Yeah, they're seeds from trees. So I have no idea how that gets into our fuel tanks, especially since you have the cap on practically all of the time unless you're fueling up. There's still a little bit of fuel left. I'm going to get rid of that, and then we're going to clean out the rest with a vacuum cleaner. But yeah, that is not normal. With the new fuel filter on at the bottom, the fuel tank cleaned up again, we are gonna place our pump back inside. Now the great thing this has, it has a little arrow which lines up with the mark on your gas tank. Now everything is back in place. We're gonna put the top cover back on. We have new oil filter, new spark plugs, replaced the broken one inside. I also exchanged the fuel filter and cleaned out that tank. Now next time I'll show you guys exactly how to take the fuel filter off, take all of that apart, clean it nicely. This one I just did the basic thing, and we're gonna get a quick today in. And then we'll continue putting the body back on and we'll head out to the water to test it out, see if I made any mistakes or if the injectors are dirty, because that tank was really bad. So let's get everything put back together and we'll get out to the water to test it out.